we've seen, fintech companies is taking advantage of the popularity of cryptocurrency. Now we have a different company, uh, uh, one of the best trilogies of all time, Lord of the Rings. You'd be surprised that they have a cryptocurrency team after them. Well, there was a problem. This was not approved by the IP holder of the Lord of the Rings here, which is J.R.R. Tolkien here. So let's take a closer look. So according to the article here, arstechnica.com, the Lords of the Rings team cryptocurrency gets thrown into Mount Doom, meaning it's considered illegal because the rights of the property did not allow for this, and obviously other individuals or group of individuals took advantage of the popularity of the IP and try to utilize it to their advantage, which obviously did not prosper here. So there was a ruling from the World Intellectual Property wherein the J.R.R. Tolkien project was halted. So the estate of J.R.R. Tolkien has successfully vanquished the cryptocurrency that style itself, the one token that rules them all. So obviously cryptocurrency token is the goal here, and using the analogy of the popularity of the Lord of the Rings, obviously people would associate it, it must be associated with the film itself, and obviously the people who developed the website wanted to cash in on that, but it was halted by one of the lawyers, Matthew Jensen of J.R.R. Token's Florida-based developer, said that the token was a generic term, should not be confused with the surname of Tolkien, and it did not infringe any intellectual. Well, the fact that you utilize the term, the one token to rule them all, and then the name associated from the Lord of the Rings is obviously connected to that tremendously, and obviously people will get mixed up, and obviously they didn't have the right to do that. And imagine if they were to do this with regards, if Apple if Apple were to see this, they would have charged in and sued any company who tried to use approximate or similar to their logo. Imagine Nike, other companies are trying to take advantage of the swoosh logo, or even Apple's, the Apple logo here. Actually, there was an article before where a company who used a different Apple, not, I think, a pair, and then even Apple sued them because the logo, the pair that was partially eaten with a bite would look similar to an Apple brand logo, which is kind of funny. So you can just imagine companies like Apple will always try to protect their branding image here, but obviously that's kind of silly because an Apple is totally different from a pear, and the company are totally different in terms of industry there. But going back to the issue here, so obviously a lot of companies or individuals are always trying to capitalize on the popularity of many companies' branding, especially you have Adidas, as mentioned, what do you call this? Apple. You also have Nike and whatnot here, and obviously they have the right to protect their branding because they've invested a lot of money in promoting their product. And obviously, if other companies were even to just change slightly the name, instead of, let's say, Apple, they made it into oranges, but the logo is still like an apple, similar to how Apple is. Obviously, people would be confused in terms of how the brand is being utilized. So but in this case here, it had a happy ending for the estate of Tolkien here. Obviously, the rights to have who has the rights for the IP of the Lord of the Rings. A judge, the World Intellectual Property Organization, or WIPO, held the decision that they are indeed what they call this. The developer was aware of Tolkien's works and created a website to trade off the fame of these works. Regardless of if it's by accident, you could have changed the name, And obviously, if it has resemblance of how the Lord of the Ring looks and feels, then people would assume that it may be official from the JR from the people behind the Lord of the Rings. Well, obviously, in this case, this was a particularly flagrant case of infringement here, and obviously, companies like them and others has to be vigilant about preventing unauthorized parties from taking advantage of the property name. Obviously, J.R.R. Tolkien's is a very popular one with regards to the film here.